No. Okay, we're not going anywhere. So what do we do here? How do we get this drop-down box to be fed from a query? Well, firstly, we need a query. Yeah? And this is why you build your queries first. That bit at the top of the lesson I did was you build your queries first. So I'm going to open up my query van availability, and I'm going to go into design view. Now I'm going to go and sit next to the PC a minute, just so we can show you what's going on here. Now, what I want my drop-down box to do is show me the available vans. Everybody happy with that? Now, what you can see here, I've got a query that looks at vans, yes, and bookings, and this is why everything that Aaron's been doing with you about what business question do I ask? Well, the business question here is which vans are available between what dates? Agreed? That's the question. So we need the van ID, so which van from the van table, and you can see that there. We need the collection date, which is here, and the return date. I'm not particularly bothered about the booking date. I'm not bothered about when it was booked, but I'm bothered about when somebody's picked it up and when somebody returns it. Yes, because between those dates, I can't let you have my van. Everybody happy with that? So what I've done here, and this is what I don't know if you can see this. I'm going to try and use the magnifier in the other rooms so you can see this. Okay, it is on screen as well. What I've got down the bottom here, no, go down, there we go, is I've got this, I'm recording this, you know, Matt. Yeah, because that's disconcerting that you're recording me, recording myself, recording somebody else. Yeah, that's just putting me off a little bit. That's why I'm sat over there, out of camera shot. This structure here, forms, exclamation mark, the name of the form, full stop, the name of the field, yes, or the text box. Now, the presence of the square brackets denotes I'm referring to an object in my database. Now, computers are stupid, right? Now, we can do this for reports, we can do it for queries, we can do it for tables, we can do it anything, yes? But the thing that comes first, in the first brackets, is the type of object. Because computers are stupid. You have to tell it which thing to look at first. I'm looking at forms. The exclamation mark is part of the structure. We tell it which form to look at. Now, this is why your underscores are so important. It sometimes throws a bit of a wobbly, but you can see we've got away with it with collection date. And then which field or which text box, yes, in this case, on that form. Does that make sense? Now, I'm going to just go back a minute to the form. Now, if can't do this. This is like trippy. If I go to there and I go to, where is it? Property sheet. What I'm looking for is the name of that object. Yep. And you can see up here, its name is collection date. Is everybody clear with that? The name of that text box, the name of where I'm directing my query to. Is everybody happy with that? Yep. Now, I want to make that very clear because if I click on this, the name is slightly different. Yes? No two objects in your database will have the same name. Okay? So when Aaron's shown you how to do the dialog boxes that pop up, effectively, we're making our own dialog box. We're making our data entry form. We're making what we had at the start. So if I go back to my query, which is somewhere now, is it this one? No. Ah! Go away, magnifier. Oh. Right, there we go, down the bottom. Oh, I've got to set it all up again. Ah! There we go. So what have we said here? What of the operator? Now, we've talked about operators. What operator have we used for collection date? This operator is at the bottom. It's the chevron. What's that one mean? greater than collection date and less than return date. Yes? Greater than collection date and less than return date. We want to see the vans that are currently booked. Yes? Does that make sense? So where the collection date is greater than and less than this. Yes, that's what we're looking for. The collection date and the return date. Everybody happy with that? You okay with that? Yep. So then when we go to our form, and I'm going to go back to my form, what I want to do is when I create my drop-down box, which I'm going to do over here now, I'm going to choose combo box, which is here. I'm going to drag a combo box on. Now it says, I want the combo box to get values from another table or query. Yes? I'm going to use that because I want to pull it from the van availability query. Yes, the one I've pulled out. I'm going to prick next, and I'm going to bring van ID through. Yes? Then I'm going to click next, next, and I'm going to store it in van ID. Okay? Now that works slightly differently to last time. I'm not sure. Oh, no. Right. Now this poses a bit of a problem. I've built this. I'm sorry. I've not quite done this as I should. What's this query going to display? Is it? And this is what was confusing me. This is why I stopped short a little bit. What is that going to pull back? It's going to give me a list of vans that have got a collection date between the one I put in and the return date. So is it going to show me free vans? It's going to show me book vans. All right, it's going to show me book vans. Is that what I need? No. So we have to make a separate query. And that's where we've got this free vans query. Now, what you'll see here, what you notice is different this time about the two things that are related together. Right, it's a query and a table. Now, the reason we want the query is because we want the list of vans that have already been booked, yes? And what we want to display is the list of vans that are not in that list. That's what we're effectively doing. So what I've done here is I pulled through van ID, registration type, because that's going to help me choose the van I want. And I want a van ID where they're not in the availability one. Yes? So where they're not in that query. So show me a list of vans that are not in the booked vans query. Does that make sense? So once I've got that, I can go back to my booking form. And I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to start this one again. And I'm going to go to form design. I'm going to bring in my drop-down box. I want to get it from a query or another table. Now this time, I'm not going to use available van. I'm going to use free vans. Yes? Because the availability van says ones that are booked, and the free vans pulls the ones that are not booked. I click next, and I want to bring through van ID registration type. Yes, because that's going to help me choose. I click next, not bothered about sorting it. That's what I'm going to see. There we go. And I'm going to store it in van ID, just like I would do normally. I press next, and I finish. And then what I get is if I go to my dates again, what date did we book it? No, the April one. What did we book it? Was it 1st and 20? Oh, I can't remember. There we go. Now what I get there is 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we're going to choose a booking. We're going to choose van 5. I'm going to process that booking, and then we're going to build another booking. Same dates. Okay. And number 5's gone. Yes? And number 5 has also gone from my other list below. Yes? So we've created a query that feeds our validation. Does that make sense? Now, the reason I'm showing you that is if I go back to design view over here, if I go to the property sheet for that particular thing, you'll see up here that the row source, and you can do this, you can do this without it being present. You can build it yourself, but effectively we've got select query free vans, the van ID, query free vans registration, query free vans type from query free vans. It's the same thing, yes, it's just written as a select query. But what I've tried to show you there, if you take nothing else away from that little bit of delivery, is the presence of those square brackets to go forms, exclamation mark, table name, or form name, sorry, full stop, the object on the form. And that's how you link your query or your report to the contents of a form. Now I'm going to stop the recording there, hopefully. No, I'm not. Somehow I'm going to do it. Let's get rid of that.